What's up guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Matt, part of Royal Visuals. This is a channel of cinematic films, reviews, and we're going to be talking about general filmmaking stuff, a couple of tutorials, so yeah, let's head right in. Did someone say review? I thought we were reviewing. Yes, we're reviewing the Weebill S. Can I come and join in? No, you can't join in. What do you mean I can't? We just go away. Fine. So where were we? So the Weebill S. I've been using this for about 3 months. I think it's been out for about 6 so far. They said this was my weapon of choice. So it's my only weapon, but it's the one I decided on between the DJI and a couple of the other ones. But yeah, I'm sort of thought I can't go outside and use it much at the moment, so why not do a review? I haven't done a review before, so this is the first on this channel. So let's dive right in. So, where do we start? Form factor, how it looks. So one of the main reasons I went for this was just the form factor and how small and capable it is for a gimbal of this size. I was expecting gimbals when I got into filmmaking to be like very big, heavy and cumbersome, but say this is very small, or I have big hands, don't know. But yeah, this is a very usable, very capable for traveling. It's got a couple of different ways you can hold it. Standard way, which is just like normal gimbal handle, but this also comes off and you can get attachments which make this quick release, which better than screwing it in and out every time you feel like you want to change. We got this, which brings the form factor down a lot more, and again makes it very good for traveling. Putting it in a small camera bag, big camera bag, it just fits everywhere. So this brings me on to my next point, which is how to use the gimbal. There's 2 ways, as I said, the normal one, which is just from the handle, or we can use this one, but that kind of covers a lot of the buttons and you need to lock it, or else the camera starts moving and it's a bit of a pain. Or we got the underslung. Unfortunately, I haven't got a second camera, so I can't show you how this works. Yeah, so this is good if you're doing low to the ground shots, or you want to sort of run with it low to the ground, or them sort of following people from behind low. That's really, really good. And say the other way is just your standard, how you see gimbals, where you can just hold it normally. Switch this around. Never get it in first time. Like so. So that's brings me on to my next. You can use it with this. You can use it in a lot of modes. In this one, there's a really cool feature that we'll talk about first, which is the vortex mode. That's very, very good for a bit of that flair to your videos, and just gives you that whole cool cinematic feeling if you want to use it. It doesn't have a great deal of uses, but it's still pretty good. So yeah, so that's the vortex. I'll show you a video now. We'll cut to that and we'll come back. So that was the barrel roll. So say it looks pretty cool. Doesn't have a great deal of use in sort of day-to-day gimbal sort of use. Put this over here rather than fidgeting with it. Yes, doesn't have a big use in day-to-day sort of filmmaking, but you can get really creative with it and you can get some really good shots. So yeah, the other one is POV, which just follows, as you would be, sort of follows which direction you're going, so it swings the camera left, right, up, down, and you can change the speed of this within the settings on the gimbal, so you can go in direction changes quicker for how you want to suit your style. We've got a couple other ones, which is Go, which I'll pick it back up, which is just a little trigger on the back, and then that sort of changes. Go was quite good, and it's pretty much like PF shot, which is the other one, and I think the last mode is called F, which is follow mode, which just keeps the horizon and vertical axis and just follows what's happening, kind of like the POV. I haven't really used these modes. I normally go for the Go or PF, but I've used the other ones every now and again, but I haven't used it that many times. So hopefully after I've used it for a year, I can come back with another review and we can sort of see what I've used and what I prefer. If I had a second camera, I would probably show you these a lot more of these modes, what they do, but unfortunately, times are hard. I only have one camera, so you'll have to make do with, and believe me. Would I recommend this gimbal for anyone starting out? Yes, it's cheap. Well, I wouldn't say cheap, it's quite expensive, but it's one of the lower price ones, and it's got so much for it. It's small, it's easy to use. Haven't used the DJI, but as a starting out filmmaker, I've only been doing filmmaking for just over a year, and this was my first go-to gimbal, and I love it. And it's just making my movies so much more cinematic, so much more stable. You can get other attachments, which does bump the price up way beyond £400, which is starting to not make it cheap, but it's just starting to establish yourself more as a filmmaker. Then this is going to just enhance with, you can get a module which goes onto the bottom plate, goes onto the plate at the bottom of the sort of where the camera goes, so it goes here, and it's out of the way, it's not obtrusive, but that allows you to connect a phone, say, to the gimbal, which can go on a little thing here, don't know what it's called. But yeah, the screws into there, you can have your phone on side of the gimbal, and then you can have it like that, and you can control the settings through your phone, or you can give it to someone else. If you have a creative director or you have someone else working with you, you can hand them that screen, a phone, and they can sort of pull focus or do any other. They can basically control the gimbal while you or an operator is just walking and following the directions what needed. So that's really cool, but it does push the price up quite a bit. I will try to find the prices and I'll put them into the video somewhere around here. So I talked about the motors. The motors in this is very, very quiet and extremely strong. You wouldn't expect it to be able to hold a camera or a lens, or just like any, because it just looks so small, and you wouldn't expect the motors to sort of have that punch they do. But I've got as I said at the start of the video, I've got a Sony A6500, and that's got a 18-135 lens, and it takes me 30 seconds to set the gimbal up, and I have no issues at all with carrying that weight. So that's a really, really good plus point. I think you can go for the full frame cameras with a fairly sizable lens, and then this gimbal still performs, which is super, super good. And I say for the price point, you can't really get sort of much better. Say, I've heard the DJI and a couple of the other manufacturers are close to this, so maybe it's a opinion choice. It's what you decide to go for. I don't think you would ever get a bad gimbal, but this seems to be my favourite gimbal so far. Hopefully I can get the chance to shoot with the DJI and then do a comparison video a little bit down the line. Yeah, it's only a short video, but this is my review of the Zhiyun Weebill S. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please leave a like down below and leave a comment if you've used both, and tell me which one you prefer. And to help this channel, if you can subscribe and hit the notification bell, it'll be great, because you'll be able to see more of these during this lockdown. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of reviews or try to do some tutorials. Yeah, stay tuned for more videos like these. I guess I'll see you in the next video.